those are all up and live. All right, change the status here. All right, we're ready to go. This is Geek News Central. My name is Todd Cochran, coming to you from the New Media Production Studio. Today's lead stories are Elon Musk says remaining Twitter employees will soon receive very significant stock awards. Amazon has been removing books from the Kindle Unlimited after they appear on pirate sites. SpaceX will launch V2 mini satellites to boost Starlink capacity. And Microsoft pushed an inaccurate Windows 11 upgrade to unsupported devices. I want to welcome you to episode 1653 of the Geek News Central podcast for Monday, February 27th. This show is sponsored in part by GoDaddy.com and listeners just like you. Great deals from GoDaddy can be found at geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy. You can support this show today at geeknewscentral.com/insider by becoming a Geek News Central insider and supporting this show with value for value. I want to give a warm welcome to all the new listeners of the show. Thanks for checking the show out. Make sure you get over to geeknewscentral.com. When you're on the website, make sure you follow and subscribe to the podcast. You can sign up for the newsletter as well. It's located a little bit further down on the website. Of course, you can join our chat room. That's very easy to do at geeknews.chat. That's a Mastodon chat server. Go over there and say you're a listener of the show, and I will approve your participation on that platform. Or you can join our Discord channel. Those links are in the show notes. You can always contact me via email, geeknews@gmail.com, geeknews@gmail.com, or on Twitter @geeknews. You can follow me by searching for my name, Todd Cochran, on Facebook. Join me over there. Whatever social media platform is your poison, please connect up. That way we'll always, you'll stay connected to the show. Of course, there's a list of partner shows available at the top header of the website. Includes the New Media Show, co-hosted by myself and Mr. Rob Greenlee, the Gadget Professor with Mr. Don Bain, who is actually a professor, the GNC Week in Review with Scott and Kirk. Kirk, of course, is the executive producer of this show, does all the show prep, gets us ready to go, and he's done a great job, of course, today as well. This show is, of course, again, sponsored by our good friends at GoDaddy, the longest continuous sponsor of a podcast. They've been with me since June of 2005. And we got our GoDaddy report in for February. We get it mid-month. A little under performance this month. So I'm asking all of you to please consider the sponsor as we move forward. The sponsor allows me to do what I do here, allows me to keep the lights on, allows me to pay the rent, all the things that are required for running this operation, and also having our writers be employed. You can do that very simply by going over to geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy, picking up one of my deals. And again, with the economy going the way it is, and with the number of layoffs happening, you just never know when that call's going to come. I don't know if I talked about it on the last show or not, but a friend of mine walked into her job and they said, today's your last day. Forced retired. It was a big shock to her. You never know what's going to happen. So 30% off of new product purchases. Very simple. CJC Geek 30 is the promo code. Click on the link within the website at geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy to get 30% off. Or $4.99 for a brand new .com if you're a brand new customer, or if you're transferring one in, again, for new customers. Or $1.99, yes, $1.99 a month economy hosting for the first year with a free domain, $24, get you up and running with a free domain for economy hosting, or $2.99, yes, $2.99 a month. Manage WordPress hosting for the first year, again, with a free domain name. Those are the two absolutely unequivocally best hosting deals available on the planet today to get started online. You can also do a free trial of GoDaddy Website Builder, your choice of personal, business, or business plus plans. That's a 1-month free trial. Make sure you watch the pricing when you're getting ready to check out. But again, those 5 deals will get you set up, get you online, allow you really to become a podcaster, a blogger, set up an online website, e-commerce, you name it. It's the place to go, and we want you to definitely check that out over at geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy. Grab one of my deals, save yourself some money, and rock and roll. Thomas, I'm in my studio in Coldwater, Michigan, away from where I live. We have had power at the studio the entire time. We had some bounce outs of power on, power off, power on, power off here. Matter of fact, to wrap up the ad, thanks GoDaddy for being a sponsor. I was reading Thomas's comment in the Facebook chat, got distracted. Had some gear failures here. One of my UPSs got taken out, believe it or not. Better the UPS than the actual piece of gear that it was hooked to. Actually, it was connected to my Mac Pro. I still have the trash can Mac Pro, and then a piece of gear in my audio rack down here that I've had for many years. As a matter of fact, those that listened to the show, the last show, were witness to it because the audio levels were really, really down. That's one thing I was going to ask. How are the audio levels tonight? I think they're a little high. They're a little hot, maybe. I have to make some adjustments still. And what I really did is I dug into my gear locker, and really took me a couple of hours to find a solution without having to go out and spend a considerable amount of money to be able to patch something into the system that basically, so what it was is I have when I used to go to CES with all my gear, I had a mic amplifier that I've used for many, many years, and it hasn't got many hours on it. But I had thought about putting a mixer in between it, because what there's some leveling issues coming out of the mixer into the TriCaster. I have to do a little magic and not get noise, not get a lot of white noise. And that piece of gear went right into the rack, and I'm pretty happy, at least in the testing that I did. Again, the levels might be a little bit hot. I'm going to turn them down a little bit tonight because I think they are. I think they're running a little smoky, but it's better than what they were. I had everything cranked way up, and it was causing problems in post-processing and on the master side. So I think we've got it solved. And but anyway, yeah, nothing cool about this last storm and gear. That the box that got took out was about, well, it was under conditioned power, but it basically I got hit so many times that something happened, and about an $800 piece of equipment toast and gone. Not worth making a insurance claim, largely because it's $500 deductible, and then they're going to cause depreciation, and I end up getting 10 cents. Not worth it at all. But the UPS that got took out was really old. I've had it I cannot complain. It did its time, and I actually had replaced the batteries in that particular UPS twice. That tells you how old it is. And it just finally gave up the ghost, and all it would do was beep, 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 continuously, and was driving me crazy. So, guess that's where we're at with that. But anyway, a little bit different audio setup tonight, and for those of you on the live stream, please let me know. And those of you watch, the live stream, just give me some feedback on how it has went through. Worked on taxes, spent time planning a new project. I got a big project I'm planning for my company, but tell you one thing: I am tired of smelling diesel. Where I'm in the loft, the diesel generator is literally from where I sleep. 15 feet. I'm just off the side and above it, and a little bit of diesel smell, kind of. Even though it's vented outside, it just I get a little bit of it, and I'm just about tired of it. 5 days. We were supposed to get power back today, but they extended it to tomorrow. It's not pretty, and there's a new storm that's taken power up. So, for those of you that are watching online, the little yellow box right there where I just got highlighted in red, if you could see that, that's me. And they're saying tomorrow at 12:15. They say the cause was equipment failure, and really, I'm not surprised it was equipment failure because the lights went on and off about 5 or 6 times before they permanently went out during the storm. So something potentially got took out, and but it's too bad that they didn't find out it was power failure until today, or equipment failure, and then I'm sure they've had to wheel in some equipment. But this is what it looks like currently. There's still 2,068 outages, 80,000 people affected. 5 days after the storm, and they had promised to have everyone back on by today, and you can see that they have woefully failed. I bet it will be later in the week. Some people had estimates of March 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, and they changed that because everywhere getting so much outrage. But they say they have 500 crews on the ground. I don't believe it, to be honest with you. I think they're just blowing smoke at this point. But significant outages still across 2 or 3 counties. We're in a belt of 4 counties that got affected the worst. So we'll see. We'll see what happens if they're able to get the juice back on tomorrow. I'm not holding my breath whatsoever, to be honest with you. But be able to come to the office and get away from and diesel smell is always good. All right, so let me get into the stack of stuff here. We've got a great show lined up today for you. Lots of stuff to talk about. And I've covered everything I wanted to cover. Let me close this out. And Elon says that the remaining Twitter employees will soon receive very significant stock awards. Apparently, they had another set of layoffs this past weekend. So in this memo, he calls the company's most recent round of layoffs difficult, overall focus on improving future execution. And basically, they feel at this point, he is running the company on as small a staff as possible to keep the lights on, to try to, turn this thing around monetarily. And probably in tow, probably saving, again, millions of dollars in salaries to try to keep Twitter afloat. And I'll be honest, Twitter continues for me to be a main source of engagement for all of you, and engaging with other companies and so forth. So a lot of folks have moved to Mastodon, but it's not the same experience. It really is not. A lot of people say they have left Twitter, but yet I continue to see them on there from time to time. So I think Twitter remains a viable entity, and I understand he's got to make money at some point. So, in a very distressful story, it's entitled "Amazon Removed Books from Kindle Unlimited After They Appear on Pirate Sites." Now, these authors have exclusives with Amazon, and apparently, when Amazon detects that a title shows up on a pirated site, they are going after the independent publisher to say, listen, you broke our agreement. And even though these publishers saying, listen, we've got companies we're hired to go and do takedowns, and we're doing everything we can to battle infringement, there's only so much we can do. And I guess that's not good enough for Amazon because they are again basically pulling the plug on these folks and taking them off Kindle Unlimited. And it's about book piracy. Now, here's the thing. I've been a Kindle Unlimited subscriber for many, many, many years. It in my opinion, it is the best if you're an avid book reader. You don't get them all, but if you're an avid book reader, all you probably need to read in 1 year to make the Kindle Unlimited deal worth it is probably 2 or 3 books a year. And I read more than that on a yearly basis, a lot more. And so for them to be pulling authors because stuff is being pirated, in my opinion, is a bad business decision. They're all dealing with piracy. So hopefully these authors get some relief and are able to get back on Amazon, and Amazon will start to understand that, they're not, these authors are doing the best they can to make a living, and to be pulled off Amazon is a big blow, especially Amazon Unlimited. SpaceX will launch V2 mini satellites to boost Starlink capacity. Now, this is an interesting story in that the V2 satellites are going to be, or scheduled to be, going on the big lift and going on the upcoming Starship. Now, seeing Starship is going to have its maiden test launch next month, I am sure that they are chomping at the bit to get a turnaround so they can start launching the V2, I'm going to call them regulars at this point, in the near future. But because they are so pressed to get more capacity in, the V1s are not cutting anymore. So they're going to be launching some V2 minis. And actually, I don't know to what point if they went today or not already, but they can only launch about 20 of these at a time. So they're half the size, I guess, of the regular V2, but they'll fit in the Falcon. And these have like 5 times the available downlink capacity. So this is one of the reasons why they're going with these particular minis at this point. And what really blows me away, to be kind of honest with you, is they were able to engineer, test, and get these minis ready to go so that they could fill the gap between that and being able to launch the regular ones on Starship. And these minis appear to be halfway between the old Starlink nodes and the upcoming V2s. Again, they physically fit inside the Falcon 9, and each of them are going to weigh about 1,800 pounds. So they're much heavier. So it is very, very interesting. They say that it has a more powerful phased array antenna and the use of E-band for backhaul, which allows Starlink to provide 4 times more capacity per satellite than earlier versions. And they're probably going to put these in V2 orbits, which is interesting. And so we know with Starship, the V2 versions are waiting a ride on Starship. It's probably going to be a couple months, but they have a higher, more powerful phase array with a 52.5 square meter solar panel. They will make up They will make up for the smaller number of satellites per launch. It also has a new argon-based hull thruster, replacing the more expensive Krypton field engine. And I guess the launch was supposed to happen about 30 minutes ago. So they may be already in orbit. So interesting move on SpaceX part. Microsoft made a little mistake, and they dispatched a fix for a glitch that saw it offer an inaccurate upgrade to Windows 11 for some users when running Windows 10 on computers that were ineligible to receive it. I have no computers here, Windows machines that are Windows 11 capable, and I know a lot of people are stuck on Windows 10 because they don't have enough hardware requirements. But the February 23 upgrade promotion banner reached unsupported devices, and company engineers detected the issue and resolved in the same day. Those ineligible devices did not meet the minimum requirements to run, and they basically said if people tried to actually do the upgrade would have failed. So I thought that was interesting in itself as all. Something in itself. So, of course, Windows 11 does not install PCs that do not have a recent TPM-equipped processors. And there were some whispers in the channel recently that Microsoft may loosen those requirements, but this remains a point of speculation so far. So that was a report from the folks over at the Register. For those of you watching online today, how's the audio sound? Does it sound too loud? Is it got too much power behind it? We're testing a new interface today for one that broke because of a power outage. Let me know. Those of you listening to the show in replay, you don't have to report. It's just those that are live. Separate circuit. Smartphone cameras will kick off there's an article over on makeuseof.com stating why smartphone cameras will kill off the DSLR. I think for the majority of people, it probably already has. I've got a GoPro 10, I think, and it creates incredibly good videos. I just see no reason at this point to shoot video anymore with a DSLR. I look at YouTubers and what they're doing, and many of them are using, if they are using a DSLR, it's basically a small wireless camera that is basically has a mirrorless. I think that's what it's called. They're Canon and Nikon are focusing on mirrorless. That's what it is. Mirrorless cameras and lenses. So, and with all the tech packed into these phones these days, why would they? Hey, Kirk, how's the audio sound today in the live stream? Let me know. So do you think that smartphone cameras are going to kill off the DSLR? Some of you are hardcore DSLR users, so I'm sure you're going to say no, but I'm kind of curious about it. According to Engadget, you can now fly the largest aircraft ever built in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Proceeds will go towards rebuilding the AN-225 Mira that was destroyed during Russia's invasion of Ukraine. That's interesting. 1 year ago today, the largest aircraft ever built was destroyed. Now the Antonov AN-225 Mira is once again taking the skies element in a Microsoft Flight Simulator. What's more, if you buy the add-on, you could help restore the only real-life Mira, M-R-I-Y-A, that was ever completed. The Ukraine-built Mira was an ultra-heavy-lift jet transport with 6 engines. It was the heaviest aircraft ever built, had the largest wingspan of any airplane, 290 feet. It had its first flight in 1988, was used to transport all sorts of things like the Soviet space shuttle, tanks, diesel locomotives, and dozens of cars at a time. I did not realize it had been destroyed, but there's a picture of it. There was a second aircraft in the works. There are plans to reconstruct the plane by using parts of the destroyed one and pieces from the unfinished airframe. The project expected to cost over $500 million. So if you buy the add-on, which costs $20, all proceeds will go to the Antonov Corporation toward the reconstruction effort. Meanwhile, the AnyBuilds, the team behind the virtual Mira, has released a manual and other details about the plane on its forum. So again, you want to fly that big bad boy, you can do so now on Microsoft Flight Simulator. The United States and Russia have come together on a International Space Station rescue mission, and for more space stories you may have missed this week over on Yahoo News. So essentially, we've had several leaks of the Soyuz, and they've had to send another Soyuz MS-22 to the International Space Station to get the 2 cosmonauts and 1 American home. So, despite or desperate for a solution, after some rearranging of the Roscosmos launch calendar, the Soyuz MS-23, the MS-23 lifeboat was launched this previous Thursday to provide a replacement return capsule. Now, the rumor is that they're going to extend those folks through September versus bringing those astronauts home in March, just because they don't have another one ready to send up the next crew. So we will see what's going on. Also, things are not looking great for the China's Mars rover, which, of course, we don't have much news out of there. But images captured by the HiRISE camera aboard NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter over the last 11 months appear to show that the Zhuang's movement have stalled. Satellite images captured between March and September showed that the rover had scuttled about 12 miles from its landing site before coming to a halt. And these images from earlier this month show no additional movement. They were supposed to be hunkered down for the winter, but after that, nothing has happened since May of 2022. So far, the China National Space Administration has yet to confirm the status. And we've got a couple of big black holes out there that have got scientists pretty fascinated. Moving on, Uber's efforts to eliminate its carbon footprint is now getting its own product event. The company is splitting its annual Go Get product event into 2 separate gatherings. The first will be New York City and a focus on families and travel. A sustainability-only event will be held in London a few weeks later. So there's a lot of pressure by Uber and Lyft and so forth because of the deadhead times a lot of these cars are doing to go pick up riders. And they say they generate 20% more greenhouse gases, and a lot of folks are putting pressure on them to go carbon neutral and have zero emissions by 2030, meaning all their drivers have to be in electric vehicles. I just don't know how they're going to do that, to be honest with you, to get all these Uber drivers, because I think you have a 2011 or maybe 2012 or newer vehicle to drive Uber now, and you want to have everyone on electric cars by 2030? I don't know about that. I really, really don't. We'll see. We'll see what happens. How many of you had a McRib? I don't think I've ever had a McRib, and maybe that's one of the reasons why the seasonal appearance in 2022 was supposed to be its last. But there's a app out there that has what's called the McRib Locator, where people, every once in a while, there's a sighting of a McRib offering. And they say that last year was the last year of the McRib, but they've said that a few times before. How many of you are a McRib fan? It looks to me like it's based upon just looking at a picture of a McRib. Is it sweet? Is that sauce like really super, super sweet? I don't think I've ever had one. Does McRibs actually have bones in it? Or, again, I've never had. Is it a fake rib? I'm not sure. So what can you tell me about the McRib? I'm just curious. Geeknews@gmail.com. Geeknews@gmail.com. If you're an amateur stars watcher, there's a great article on Digital Camera World talking about astrophotography in March, what to shoot in the night sky, everything you need to know about what to photograph in the next night sky this month is available. Venus and Jupiter, A+, Worm Moon rising on March 7th, March dark sky window on March 14th. I'm going to be honest with you, pretty dark sky around my place lately because of all the power outages. March 20th, spring equinox, and the list goes on. So, a link will be up in the show notes of all these great opportunities for those of you that are stargazers. Those of you living out in western Ohio were startled Sunday when a small meteorite caused a loud boom before hitting the ground. The Arcadian Police Department says there was a few witnesses who saw the meteorite come down and land near a school football stadium. The meteorite left a small burn mark in the ground, but police say there were no fragments remaining. This is a little bit of a suspicious picture. If something actually hit the ground and caused the grass to burn, would there be anything left? It seems like there would be something left, right? If it actually hit the ground, it made a little bit of an impact. I think I would look around a little bit more. Or someone picked something up and haven't told anyone. That's my prediction. But anyway, any of you living out in western Ohio, did you see this thing? Therein lies the question. Tesla has paused new full self-driving beta until the recall issue is addressed. And we talked about in the last show 363,000 shows, and they're putting a hold on new installations. So those who already have FSD installed and activated continue to use the software as is, but won't see any new features until the issues identified are addressed. The recall affects Model S, Model 3, Model X, and Model Y vehicles. The current FSD beta advanced driver assistance software could cause vehicles to break traffic laws and make risky maneuvers. And they give some indication of what could cause issues in a bulletin notice. The United States is leading a Fab 4 chip alliance, and they've met to coordinate supply chain resilience. Senior officials from U.S., Taiwan, Japan, and South Korea met to discuss ways to establish an early warning system and help ensure a more resilient global semiconductor supply chain. So they conducted a video conference, and the formation of this early warning system is significant as a look to prevent the recurrence of the chip shortage and disruption of supply chain. CNA reported, quoting unidentified officials from Taiwan's Ministry of Economic Affairs, in the future, the Fab 4 countries will inform each other through official channels about problems that may be encountered in global supply chain. The officials in the meeting held off discussions related to export controls, and no companies were part of the meeting, according to a Bloomberg report. No meeting, no companies. Taiwan suggests the 4 countries should exchange information on various aspects of supply chain as soon as they can. In September last year, U.S. held the first meeting. I guess these are government, not companies. Okay. So you would have thought that there would have been senior officials of the U.S. East Asia Semiconductor Supply Chain Resilience Working Group. So who are these people? If they're not made up of people of companies, and these are individuals that are part of the government, all right, well, they're trying to prevent future chip shortages. We will see. And it does say senior officials from U.S., Taiwan, Japan, and South Korea. All right, that means government people. This AI stuff is getting weird. Snapchat warns of hallucinations with new AI conversation bot. My AI will cost $3.99 a month and can be tricked into saying just about anything. Snapchat announced an experimental AI-powered conversational chatbot powered by ChatGPT from OpenAI. My AI will be available for $3.99 for Snapchat Plus subscribers rolling out this week. The users will be able to personalize the AI bot by giving a custom name. Conversations with the AI model will take place in a similar interface to a regular chat with a human. The big idea is that in addition to talking to our friends and family every day, we're going to talk to AI every day. Oh my God, God save us. That's ridiculous. What are we going to talk about to the AI? About our life? About our problems? Are they going to become our shrinks? Really? What will be the game plan here? Huawei dominates MWC Mobile Tech Fair despite United States sanctions. A huge contingent of Chinese companies, led by tech giant Huawei, is turning the world's biggest wireless trade fair into an opportunity to show their muscle. After 3 years of pandemic disruptions, they're among tens of thousands in Barcelona for MWC, also known as Mobile World Congress, starting Monday today. Of the 2,000 exhibitors and sponsors, 150 are Chinese companies, and Huawei has the biggest presence. The smartphone and network maker expanded its footprint by 50% from last year and is taking up almost entire vast exhibition hall at Barcelona's Fira Convention Center. This is striking considering Huawei has been the center of geopolitical battle over global tech, left parts of its business crippled by Western sanctions. The United States 3 years ago successfully pushed European allies like Britain and Sweden to ban or restrict Huawei equipment in their phone networks over fears Beijing could use it for cyber snooping, sabotaging critical communications infrastructure. Japan, Australia, New Zealand, and Canada have taken similar action. Brian Chamberlain, executive advisor at Huawei Wireless Care Group, said the sanctions have had a big impact, but the company is not going to try to break any of those rules. But at the same time, they're not going to slow us down from delivering innovative solutions. We will continue business with companies and countries that want our support. Huawei supersized president shows a sign of defiance. Huawei wants to give the president the middle finger, Strand said of the U.S. president. The company's message, he said, is despite American sanctions, we're alive and kicking and doing well. So, those of you that don't know, oftentimes for shows like CES and other events like that, the Chinese government flies in on big cargo airplanes all the displays and equipment for these manufacturers. They don't have to pay to have stuff shipped to a trade show. I'd love to have that ability to load my stuff up and go to London and go all over the world, sponsored by the U.S. That doesn't work. U.S. companies have to pay their way, have to pay their own shipping. Chinese companies do not. It's a big difference in philosophy. Canada is reportedly banning TikTok from government-issued devices. The ban is said to come effect on March 1st. And Canada is the latest jurisdiction to ban TikTok. The U.S. federal government, multiple states, and European Union previously prohibited their workers from using the app on official devices. According to a note sent to Global Affairs Canada employees that was obtained by the National Post, TikTok will be automatically removed and blocked from use on government-issued mobile devices. So, a review of the mobile application's behavior in relation to policy and service and digital found that TikTok's data collection may leave users vulnerable to cyber attack. The note purportedly reads, it may be the case that similar to their counterparts, the U.S. and EU officials are concerned about Chinese governments gaining access to data TikTok holds on Canadian citizens and residents. TikTok parent ByteDance is located in China, which laws that forces companies to share data with authorities when requested. Of course, ByteDance has refuted suggestions that the Chinese government can access such data. But again, they are banned. Facebook and Instagram will help prevent the spread of teens' intimate photos. Take it down flag images to prevent unwanted photos from spreading. So they are working with the child sexual abuse material. The company has revealed that Facebook and Instagram are founding members of Take It Down. And this is from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. It helps young people and their parents remove intimate photos posted online. The system relies on locally stored photos, but theoretically protects privacy. Instead of sharing the photos themselves, concerned users visit Take It Down to upload generated hashes. If Facebook, Instagram, and other program members spot these hashes elsewhere, they can pull and block the content so it won't proliferate. Made a note that this isn't just for those under 18. Parents can act on a child's behalf, and adults can scrub images taken of them when they were younger. The NCMEC warns that the platform may have limited capabilities to remove content that's already online, but this should still help mitigate or undo the damage from unwanted sharing. So there's been some questions asked of Meta for clarification. But apparently you have to upload the master to that platform so that they can get the signature of that photo to look for it to be able to remove it, which is very weird in itself. It's being reported over at Mac Rumors. Apple's restarted development of fourth generation iPhone SE with a 6.1-inch OLED display and an Apple-designed 5G chip, according to the latest information shared by reputable analyst Ming-Chi Kuo. The reversal comes nearly 2 months after Kuo said Apple had abandoned its plans to release a new iPhone SE in 2024. In a series of tweets, he said the new iPhone SE will be similar to the standard iPhone 14, which features a 6.1 with thinner bezels. The current iPhone SE is equipped with a 4.7-inch LCD with thicker bezels. He did not indicate when the new iPhone SE would be released, but it likely won't be available until March of 2024. And so we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Waymo is starting driverless taxi tests in Los Angeles. The autonomous car, though, is not ready for LA rush hour. So let me look at see if we can. The company tells Engadget tests will mark the first time that fully autonomous cars will roam the streets of LA, and that thanks to a successful test in San Francisco, it's been able to roll autonomous drivers in new cities. The LA test will likely follow the same course as Waymo's fleet in San Francisco, limited where vehicles only available to riders in Waymo's research trusted tester program. Waymo didn't have any details to share regarding when the full driverless taxi will be available, but it probably hinges on California Public Utility Commission issuing the firm a driverless deployment permit. What else? Again, did not give any specific dates, but it will only do testing outside of rush hour in Santa Monica. Okay. So we will see. So keep your eyes out for Waymo. Warner Brothers and Discovery sues Paramount over South Park streaming rights. The owners are now fighting over exclusives. If the Paramount South Park movie deal seemed odd when HBO scored exclusive for the series You're Not Alone, Warner Brothers Discovery has sued Paramount Global for allegedly breaching parts of the $500 million contract that gave HBO Max streaming rights for South Park in 2019. WBD claims Paramount blatantly intended to steer users toward its service by not offering new specials, by shortchanging the HBO service on promised regular season content. HBO Max was promised 3 new seasons with 10 episodes each. However, the provider said only got 8 episodes across the 2 delivered seasons, and the next season's 6 episodes also fall short. On top of this, Paramount supposedly used verbal trickery to rebrand content as movies or events to avoid sending video to its competitor. In a statement to Engadget, Paramount claims this lawsuit is without merit, also maintains it's still honoring the contract, despite Warner supposedly failing to pay licensing fees for already delivered South Park episodes. So here we go. It's all about these people are not happy in the streaming deals they've made, and they want to pull the plug on that. Mercedes-Benz is bringing WebEx meetings to its new E-Class sedans. Really? Welcome to the forever office. I can imagine. I've done a lot of meetings in my car over the years. When I lived in Hawaii, I did a lot. So I guess building WebEx meetings and calling in WebEx AI into a car makes sense. But I guess we'll see Zoom next, probably, right? Well, you already do Zoom on your phone or on an iPad or something. So I guess what's the difference? Motorola and Xiaomi and others tap Qualcomm for satellite connectivity. Qualcomm is making satellite connectivity more of a thing. We've heard a lot about this. And of course, Qualcomm announced Snapdragon satellite in January to bring satellite connectivity to smartphones. At MWC 2023, Qualcomm announced several Android OEMs that will utilize Snapdragon satellite. So Motorola, Nothing, Xiaomi, Vivo, Oppo, and Honor. Oppo is a brand that's mostly seen in Asia. I don't know about Honor. So anyway, link will be up in the show notes. So we'll hear about more mobile news throughout the week. So do you want to know what's... hang on here. So my mom's texting me. She'll have to wait a minute. Everything coming to Prime Video in March is in the show notes, along with what's new in HBO Max in March, along with what's new on Paramount Plus in March. So we've got 3 articles on what's new coming in March from a streaming service. Also, Arnold Schwarzenegger returns to his action movie roots in Netflix FUBAR. The trailer for Arnold Schwarzenegger's first action comedy TV series is here. And so anyway, he's a ready to retire CIA agent who gets wrapped up in one last mission. So I'll have the link in the show notes on that. And that's it. That's all we have for articles tonight. So if you have comments today, geeknews@gmail.com, geeknews@gmail.com, @geeknews on Twitter. Don't forget to support the show with micro donations by using a new podcast app at podcastapps.com, and boost or live stream the show with Satoshis. Don't forget about that. Value for value. If I provided value to the show, please provide value back. And know that we are value enabled both on the audio and video side. We're also live streaming on audio and video in all of the apps that support the lit tag, the live item tag. So you can consume the content on just a on-demand basis, listen live. You can stream sats to the show. All you need is your debit card to charge the wallets and be able to do that. So definitely check that out. And of course, please support GoDaddy as my sponsor. Definitely had a little bit lower month last month than we wanted to. So anyone that can step up and help out by picking up GoDaddy products or services, if it's time for you to join the party, geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy. Again, if you have comments about today's show, geeknews@gmail.com, geeknews@gmail.com. It's been my pleasure to bring you the show. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. We'll be back Thursday with another edition of the Geek News Central podcast. Everyone take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.